Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Cheri and today is Wacky Wednesday. Today we're going to be making a Milnot cheesecake. And before I tell you why it's wacky, let me just say if this is your first time here, you love food and fun and cheesecake, go ahead, hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell and check the description below. You can find details on how subscribing helps to feed the hungry. So this cheesecake is my grandma's recipe. Well, it's been around for a long time. I don't really know whose recipe it is. I just know my grandma used to make it all the time, and she made it on Thanksgiving because I never liked turkey or stuffing or cranberry sauce. All I ever liked was mashed potatoes and cheesecake. So that's what I ate on Thanksgiving, and she always made sure she had it. And she actually, you know what? I'm going to have to go downstairs and see if I have some, but I forgot. She always topped it with a cherry pie filling, so I'm going to see if I have that downstairs in my spare pantry. Anyway, to get started, we need 2 cups of crushed graham crackers. And I'm not quite sure if one of these makes a cup. I'm gonna guess it's about that much. So actually, you know what? We'll do one of these in the food processor and we'll see how much we think we have. All right, so in there they go. I never put this thing on the right way. There we go. Turn it on. Let's see here. I am going to guess that is right about a cup, or pretty close to it. So we'll go ahead and add the other package in. And get those crushed up. Oh, I did it on the first try. Okay, so from here, we can go ahead and add in some butter. So we need a 1/2 cup, or a full stick, melted, and we're going to toss that right in with our graham crackers. So, you know what I just remembered? My grandma's cheesecake always tasted better than anyone else's, or at least the crust did, and I couldn't figure out why for a long time. And I realized once I bought like one of those store-bought graham cracker crusts that hers was a lot sweeter, and I figured out she would put sugar in it. So I have a cup of sugar here that actually is supposed to go in the cheesecake. I'm just going to take a little bit of that and mix that in, which means I need to get this back over here. Put this back on and stir it up one more time. There we go. I think that's good. It's funny how you remember those things, like, you know, like I remember the pie filling that went on top and now the sugars. It was the best cheesecake ever. And so I don't know if I said this, but this cheesecake makes a fluffy cheesecake. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you why it's so wacky. So it's so wacky because, so a New York style cheesecake is, you know, it's smaller, or I should say shorter, and it's kind of really dense. It's heavy. And this cheesecake fluffs up like a sponge. It gets about this tall, or it's supposed to. But the trick to it is the Milnot. You have to use Milnot, and it has to be refrigerated. Not only does that have to be refrigerated, you have to put your beaters in the freezer for a few seconds. So basically everything has to be cold. The beaters, the bowl, and the Milnot. All that has to be cold, and hopefully, cross our fingers, it's going to fluff up really nicely for us and make a cheesecake that was just like my grandma's. So I am going to go ahead and put this in here. And we're going to reserve just a little bit of our crust mixture to sprinkle on top. Or at least that's the way my grandma did it. And we do this in a 9 by 13. And I really would like to do this in a spring form, but because my grandma did it this way, I'm going to do it this way. Except I think hers was in a big metal pan. Mine's in a glass pan, but that's all right. I am going to check downstairs for that pie filling, though. So once we've got this pressed down in here really good, we can go ahead and start on the rest of it. So I'm going to set this aside. I am going to get out the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to get my mixer, and I'm also going to take a cup of water, and I'm just going to boil it right there in the microwave. So I'll see you back in a few minutes. All right, I got a cup of boiling water here, or it was boiling 2 seconds ago. So I'm going to add 3 ounces of lemon Jell-O to that and give it a good stir. And look what kind of Jell-O I found. Actually, this is the only one they had. They didn't have like the Jell-O brand Jell-O. They had Starburst, which I think sounds pretty darn good. But they have lemon, and I think they had a blue raspberry, and I think they had a pink color. I don't know what flavor it was. Boy, this smells strong. All right, so we've got that stirred up. I'm going to set this aside. I did find a can of cherry pie filling downstairs, so I'm excited about that. Hopefully we have enough room on the top. Okay, so I've got 1 package of cream cheese here that I just let out, you know, sit out at room temperature for about 30 minutes so it's softened just a little bit. I'm going to add in 1 cup of sugar, and then we're also going to add in, I'm going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla, or 2. You guys know I like a lot of vanilla. And then we're going to blend this together. Okay, I think that's good. So we're going to go ahead and swap this out. We're going to take this one off of here and then grab the other one out of the freezer. I also took my can of Milnot and I moved it from the fridge to the freezer. I don't know that it'll make that big of a difference, but all right, so let's put this one on here and open our can of Milnot and then wish me luck. I've only made this maybe 3 or 4 times in my life, and the first time it didn't work out, and one of the other times it didn't work out. 2 times I've made it successfully and 2 times not, so we'll see how today goes. So I'm 2 for 2. Okay. And I want to say this takes a while, so we're going to drop this down here, get it started, and I'll time it and see how long. Look at that. I think we got lucky. Or I did something right this time. Like I said, I think the trick is really, this needs to be cold, or your beaters, you know, from a hand mixer. The bowl needs to be cold, whether it's glass or metal. I think the metal helps though. And the Milnot has to be cold. Let's push this out of the way. And our Jell-O should have cooled off a little bit by now. So our Jell-O gets mixed. Oh, we were supposed to mix this in while it was on there. Uh-oh. That's okay. While I was waiting on that, I cleaned this, so we're good, I think. Okay, let me put this back on here. It didn't say whether the Jell-O needed to be cooled down or not, so I was taking a guess at it and thinking it probably did. And it's not quite cool, but it's not hot, so I think that's better. Okay, so let's get this going and we'll slowly stir this in. All right, it looks good. Let's see here. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, so I'm going to take this back off of here for a second time. Toss that in the sink. Grab my bowl. Push this out of the way. And then we have to fold this into here. Or this into here. I'm not sure which way it goes. I looked this recipe up online. So like I said, I think everything was to a T like my grandma made it, except for she put sugar in the crust and the cherry pie filling on top. All right, so we'll do this little bit at a time because look how nicely it whipped up. I don't want to lose all that air in there. So we're just going to fold this in. I can smell the lemon Jell-O. I will tell you, even if you make a like New York style cheesecake, regular cheesecake, not the Milnot kind, the lemon Jell-O really adds a great flavor to it. If you've ever had like Captain D's cheesecake, I always taste the lemon flavor in theirs. I know it's in there. Another flavor I really like in cheesecake is almond flavoring. So, oh, I'm stirring instead of folding. I get so impatient. I don't know how to fold something. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of this in here. Look how fluffy that is. Isn't that crazy? Science, I guess. Like, what makes it fluff up like that? I mean, I know what makes it do it is the cold, but why? I need a science person here. I need Alton Brown. That's who I need from Good Eats. He could tell us why. All right, that looks pretty good to me. And you know what? Oh, like, do we have enough room to put the cherries on top? I don't think so. So I think I was going to say, if we did, I was going to go ahead and add the rest of this to the crust. But I really don't know until we pour this in here. And I'm going to say not. Either way, we have to wait until this is set up to put the cherries on top. Because right now it's really, really, as you can see, it's really moussey and kind of soft. So maybe we'll put cherries on it. Maybe we'll do both. Maybe we'll put the cherries on it and then sprinkle. So I don't even think I'm going to level that out. I think I'm going to let it level out itself. So I don't take a chance on flattening it. Okay. So this is going to go in the refrigerator. I don't know how many hours they said. So I'm just going to put it in there overnight. And we will check on it in the morning. Hopefully it'll set up really nice and we can add the cherries to the top. Okay, it has been at least 12 hours, I think. So overnight at least. And it's time to take a look at our cheesecake. You guys know I already peeked. You know I had to take this off and make sure that it did not sink, and it didn't. It is still fluffy. Look at all the little bubbles in there. The only thing I'm confused about is my grandma's cheesecake always had a bit of, it was a little bit of yellow to it, I believe, and it was from the Jell-O. So why mine's not? I guess it was maybe the Starburst brand, because that's the first time I've used it and seen it. I don't know. It looks more just like the Milnot. Anyway, I think there's enough room on here. We're going to do it just like Grandma did, and we are going to put some cherry pie filling on top. I was hoping when I put this on here, it wasn't going to make it all. Oh, man. How I was wondering if we were going to have enough room, and look. Look at this. I don't even, that's like the end of the can. I'm going to need 2 cans, but I only have 1. I mean, I could try to spread it out, but I don't know. This thing's going to be a problem to try and photograph, I think, also. I think if I keep trying to push it towards the edges, I'm just going to tear this all up. So what I can do is, I have some leftover graham cracker crumbs somewhere. We can put those on the edges. But anyway, David, hand me a fork, will you, without knocking over my camera? Thank you. No. No. Huh?
How are you going to make that work now?
What? You're in there.
Huh?
You're in the video. Your face isn't, but your voice is.
Oh, so you're...
So I'm videoing. Yeah, yeah.
You're going to keep this in?
Yeah.
Video?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it in.
You're not going to edit it out?
No. I'm getting ready to take a bite. These people want to know what this tastes like.
Oh.
Do we want a bite? I'm going to take a bite without the cherries, just so I know. But look. Can you guys see how fluffy this is? Look at that. It's like a little airy sponge. I will say this. I think Grandma's is better. I don't know if it's because Grandma made it. She probably put more love into it than I did. But I think mine's fluffier. Like, it is super fluffy. Super, super fluffy. Like, really airy. It just melts in your mouth. It just literally just like... It is definitely good, but I do think my grandma's is better. Maybe she put more sugar in it or something. I don't know. But I do think it's good, and if you've never made this, give it a try because, it, like I said, it's wacky. It's weird how if everything's not cold, it just doesn't whip up like that. I think it's really good, though. I think it's interesting, and even if you don't like cheesecake, it's really, as long as you like cream cheese, you probably like it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thank y'all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.